Hello, Super Great Kim.
Hello, super great David. David, what are you doing with that fishing net?
Well, I'm fishing for votes for the Webby People's Voice Award. But I'm not quite sure what a Webby Award is. Is it something to do with mermaids and webbed feet?
No, David. A Webby is a reward for doing good work. It's a bit like being given a star sticker at school when you've done well.
Oh, I see. A bit like the child in the Star Coin story who was given gold coins for being kind.
Well, yes, but instead of giving gold coins, we'd like story fans to ask their grown-ups to vote for us online.
Okay, so if we'd like more people to listen to our stories, then we need help from our lovely listeners again.
Yes, we'd like our story-loving listeners to help by voting for us in the Webby People's Voice Award.
You know what, Kim? I think we could put that idea into our sharing song. What do you think of this? If you tell a friend and I tell a friend, we'll all have a super great vote. And if they vote one and then another votes one, a whole lot of us, a whole lot of us, a whole lot of us will have a super great vote. Do you want to sing it with me, Kim?
Let's give it a go, David.
If you tell a friend and I tell a friend, we'll all have a super great vote. If they vote one and another votes one, a whole lot of us, a whole lot of us, a whole lot of us will have a super great vote.
What fun! Remember to ask your grown-up if they can vote for us. There's a link in the news section on our website, supergreatkidstories.com.
Listen, Kim, do you think that's the sound of votes dropping into the Webby fishing net?
David, maybe you've caught a mermaid. Hello and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories, wise tales from storytellers around the world, which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended for ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim and I love stories. This week we have a lovely English folktale to celebrate spring called The Best Nest. Hello, Super Great Kids, and how are you? Irish storyteller Kate Corkery and I are looking forward to meeting some of you online this Saturday, the 12th of April, when Kate and I will be telling some of our favourite stories, including The Whistling Giants and Eggshell Soup. If you can't make it live, you can buy a ticket and watch online at your leisure later. It's £12.50 for a ticket for the whole family. You can find more details on our website, supergreatkidstories.com. We sold out at our last show, so if you're thinking of coming, do book soon to avoid disappointment. I've been enjoying watching the spring here in London. There are chiff-chaffs singing everywhere and handsome red, black and white great spotted woodpeckers drumming loudly on hollow trees, trying to find a mate. And I've been away travelling, visiting friends in the Midwest of the US. And while I was there, I watched a group of about 15 grey herons building their nests. They were flapping their huge wings and carrying sticks towards the tippy top of some very tall trees. Herons are large birds which you might have seen standing stone still next to a lake or pond. They have long yellow bills and long stick-like legs and a cool black stripe across their eyes. It was fascinating watching them building homes in the same few trees. I suppose it's a bit like a heron housing estate or street. Their nests are a bit straggly and basic, but they'd probably say that about my house too. So, today, Wangari the storyteller is going to tell us a tale about a bird who builds a rather swanky nest. and lays pretty eggs of greeny blue with brown or green spots. Now, just before we get to our story, while we have a quick word with the grown-ups, I have a little question for you. If you were a bird, what would your nest be like? Would you make it out of twigs and mud? Or would you move into a birdhouse? Or would you line your nest with feathers and moss and leaves to make it softer? And would you put up decorations, or would you have a roof? And finally, what colour eggs would you like to have? Would you have pink, blue, gold, spotty, or with stars? Have a little think while we talk to the grown-ups. Are you ready? Off you go.
From the creators of Blue's Clues and Team Umizoomi, DreamWorks' Gabby's Dollhouse is a delightful show that leads kids room to room through fantastical mini-worlds, irresistible kitty characters, and quirky adventures. Gabby embraces imperfection and celebrates mistakes, showing kids and kittens they can learn as much from their setbacks as they do their successes. And if you want to explore this magical world yourself, the Kitty Care Ear Perfect Playroom really is the perfect playset to bring Gabby's Dollhouse into your own home. Be sure to enjoy a season full of meowsing surprises with Gabby's Dollhouse. All new episodes are now playing on Netflix. This show is presented by DreamWorks Gabby's Dollhouse, back in its 11th season of meowsing surprises. All new episodes of Gabby's Dollhouse are playing now on Netflix.
Hello, super great kids, I'm back. Maybe you could send us a picture of your bird sitting on her nest of imaginary eggs. Send it to us at facebook.com/supergreatkidsstories. And now, it's time for our story from Wangari. Are you sitting comfortably? Am I sitting comfortably? Then let the story come flip-flapping out.
Hello, super great kids. My name is Wangari, the storyteller from Nairobi in Kenya. Now, the story that I will share with you today actually comes from the UK. But I love this story because it is about birds. And I love birds, you know. They are really beautiful. And they do one thing that I really wish I could do. They fly. Have you ever imagined how it would be if you could fly? Well, our story is about a bird called the magpie. Have you ever seen a magpie? It's not small, but it's also not very big. It's somewhere right there in the middle. And it has a dark face, dark feathers on its back, a very white belly, and it has some blue stripes on its wings, and quite a long tail. Now, where do birds live? If the birds are in the wild, they live in a nest. And every bird makes its own nest. If there was one thing that all the birds in the forest agreed, it was that the magpie made the best nests in the world. Not only were they really comfortable, they were really warm at night when it was cold. And the magpie's nest had a veranda or balcony that helps it prevent rain from coming inside. And it had shiny things, beautiful things falling there. And it was also soft and quite smooth to the touch. And all the birds admired the magpie's nest. And they all wished that they could make nests just like the magpie did. And many birds indeed came to the magpie and said, "Magpie, please, can you show us how to make a nest as beautiful and comfortable as you?" But now the magpie was quite a busy person. Well, a busy bird, so to say. For you see, when the magpie was not busy making the nest, she was busy sitting on her eggs. Or she was going around looking for food for her chicks. Or, also just relaxing. It's very good to relax. But after many of the birds came and begged a lot of times, she agreed to set aside a whole day for any bird who was interested in learning how to make a nest as good as hers to come and learn where she would actually do a demonstration of how she makes her nest. And that evening, before she and her family went to bed, they cleaned their compound to make it good to welcome their guests. And the next morning, oh, the air was buzzing with hundreds and hundreds of wings in the air as the birds came for their meeting with the magpie. From all sides they came, from the east to the west, from the north to the south. All kinds of birds, the small, tiny birds, the big birds, birds with long tails and those with no tails to talk about, all came to sit for the demonstration. And when they arrived, the magpie didn't keep them waiting. First, she went out and immediately went around, picking some twigs that she had collected the previous day. And her family began the work of putting the twigs together to make the skeleton of a nest. And the magpie herself, she was walking around, supervising, making sure that every twig went where it was supposed to go. And you could actually hear her asking, does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. And finally, there was a skeleton of a nest made from twigs. And the magpie whispered something to her family. And they all opened their wings and they flew away. And some birds asked, is that all? Oh, yeah, it seems that's how we actually make a nest. And they left. And that is how some of these birds make their nests to this very day. But some birds said, we know the magpie. She would not finish the work without telling us. And her nest looks much better than this. We are going to wait. So they waited. And they were soon rewarded by the magpie and her family coming back. And in their wings and in their clothes, they carried mud. And the magpie quickly made some mud pies. And they used these mud pies to put in between the cracks where the twigs had been made into a nest. And she walked around. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. And when all this was done, she once more whispered to her family, and they flew away. Oh, so that's how a nest is done, right? Some birds said. You make a nest from twigs and from mud. And they took off. And that's how those birds still make their nest to this very day. But some birds said, no, we know the magpie. And her nest, they don't look anything like this. They are much more comfortable and they're much, much shinier. We are going to wait right here until she comes back. And she came back. And when she came back, she had in her claws and in her beak, she had feathers, soft feathers, and pieces of cloth. And she and her family used this to line inside the nest, that it was smooth and it was warm. And she walked around looking at how the work was going. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. And then, once again, they flew away. By now, it was getting quite dark. And many of the birds had gone away. And the others said, oh, she has left once again? Oh, and they flew off. But the demonstration was not yet done. For the magpie came back with some jewels, some shiny metals, and shiny bright string. And she and her family used this to make the nest look very beautiful. And she still walk around. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here? Yes, yes, yes. And finally, the nest was ready. And the magpie said, "Here you go. Here is how you make a beautiful nest just like mine." But the birds were all gone. And so it is that the birds, from then till now, make their nests in different ways. Some make their nests just using some twigs. Others will use the twigs and put some mud. Others will use twigs and mud and grass and feathers to make it soft and smooth. But only the magpie lines her nest with jewelry, with bright string and shiny metal, because only her and her family stayed up to the very end of the demonstration.
Thanks so much to Wangari for that story. That would be a fun one for you to try telling yourself. So here's my question. You know how I like questions. Do you think you would have stayed to the very end of the nest building demonstration? Are you good at listening? It's such a very useful skill, but you know, not many people are good at listening. Why don't you have a go next time your grown-ups or your teacher is talking to you? Listen really carefully and concentrate on what they're telling you. Now, what was your favourite bit in that story? I really like the little rhyme. I love the idea of strutting around my children's bedrooms like Mrs. Magpie, picking up items like smelly socks and saying, "Does this go here? No, no, no. Does this go here?" Pointing to the washing basket. Yes, yes, yes. I wonder if your grown-ups will have a go at that one. Have you ever found a nest? They're so beautifully crafted. Best to leave them in place if you ever do find one, just in case a bird wants to return to it the following spring. And it's true that some nests are more beautiful than others. Some birds don't even bother making their own, they just borrow someone else's. I'm sorry to have to tell you that owls often just borrow a nest made the year before by another bird like a magpie or a crow, which is pretty darn lazy, but shh, don't tell Story Owl I said so. I don't want to hurt her feelings. Now, lots of you have joined our Owlet Storytelling Club recently, so it's time to dig deep into our bag of happies and fly around the world with Story Owl to say thank you and welcome to some new owlets. Starting in North Carolina in the US, let's say hello to owlets Luna, who is 6, Indigo, who is 4, and Sienna, who is 2. Luna's favourite story is The Cake Tree, and Indigo's favourite is The Ghost of the Bloody Finger, and Sienna's favourite is The Hairy Toe. The families say that the stories make their day more magical and sometimes a bit more spooky. Ooh. Across to Anchorage in Alaska in the US next to say hello to owlet Margaret, who turned 5 on March the 16th. She likes to listen to stories in the car, and now that she has a baby brother, she also listens at bedtime while her mom gets her little brother ready for sleep. Margaret's favourite stories are The Ghost of the Bloody Finger and Masha and the Big Brown Bear. And up to Courtney on Vancouver Island in Canada now to say hello to Cal, who turned 9 last month. Cal's favourite is the troll story from Norway, the one about the boy called Butterball and the troll hag. That's very brave of you to listen to that one, Cal. It's pretty scary, isn't it? And heading east and across the sea to Wiltshire, here in the UK now, to greet Owlet Bray, who is 6. Her name means hill in Cornish. Her favourite story is the first one she heard, Little Half Chick from Spain. And she also likes The Bougain Suit, the story from the Isle of Man. Gray likes it because it has 2 tailors and because she really likes Eager Edward. And off to Kansas City in Missouri, what a friendly place that is, to greet owlets, Camden, or Cammy, who is 6, 4-year-old Landon, sometimes known as Coco, and Cora, who's not quite yet 1. They listen on the way home from school with Cammy. Their favourites are Baba Yaga and the Anansi stories. Cammy loves owls, including Bert, his lovey. Ooh, and Bert the owl likes the stories too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And let's head to sunny Texas next to say hello to owlets Brooks, who is 9, and Walker. They both listen every day after school. Their favourite stories are the ones with Nancy the spider in them. And off to sunny Florida now to greet Augustina, who turns 6 this week. How exciting. And to Jackson, who is 5. They became owlets thanks to a birthday gift from their Auntie Mary. Thank you, Auntie Mary. One of Augustina's favourites is the hairy toe, and one of Jackson's favourites is the eagle who thought he was a chicken. And up to Thompson in Connecticut in the US next to greet owlet Levi, who is 4. Levi listens on the ride to school and at bedtime as well. His favourites include The Ghost of the Bloody Finger, Coyote and Bluebird, and Puss in Boots. And last but not least, let's head up to Peekskill in New York to visit owlets Grace, who is 7, and Jack, who is 4. They love the story from Denmark, Hey Ho, and Marina and Marino from Colombia. Grace also likes swimming, just like me. Do you know, Grace, I went swimming in a friend's pond this weekend. And as I was drying off, along came 10 fluffy little ducklings. What fun. That's all the owlet shout-outs for this week. More next week. Now, you've been sending some really brilliant pictures to Story Owl this week, and our Pick of the Week picture goes to 7-year-old Colette from Fallbrook in California, who sent us a beautiful illustration of Mabel and Black Annis. We love your picture of the scary story with Black Annis, the huge witch, with black hair, a blue face and iron claws, towering over little Mabel and her cat, and clutching her bunch of herbs to keep the witch away. Thanks for being such a loyal fan of the podcast, Colette, and for sharing your drawing talents with us. If you'd like to send us a picture, maybe of the magpie making her nest, or any of your favourite stories, then send it via our website at supergreatkidsstories.com or by Meta on our Facebook page, facebook.com/supergreatkidsstories. And we can share your art with other story lovers on our Facebook page and Instagram art gallery at supergreatkids_art. And thanks to all of you who are subscribing to our podcast. It's very kind of you. It's only £3 a month, less than $4 to get advert-free and access to all the scary stories. And if you pay for the next tier up, you'll get advert-free plus over 50 bonus stories and over 30 super great scary stories. Plus, you'll get access to our Super Great Kids Stories Express, great for listening to stories back to back. Visit our website for more details, supergreatkidsstories.com. That's it for now. Keep telling your stories and singing your songs. And thanks to all of you who voted for us in the Webby Awards. That certainly put a wag in our tails. And if you're marking Passover this week, I hope you have a happy Passover. This podcast was produced by Kim Normanton and David Smith at the wonderful Wardour Studios in fabulous Fitzrovia in London.